Coach, how's practice been for these couple weeks?
No, it's been great. I mean, the guys are flying around. There's a big sense of urgency at practice, and honestly, we're just trying to get the guys to play hard. I think that's the biggest thing, and connect the team. So practice has been going pretty smooth.
Just talk about the specialist kicker, punter, long snapper.
Yeah. So Derek Morris, we obviously have returning. Feel great about Derek, if I'm being transparent. I think he's probably one of the best kickers in the country. So I think he's got an absolute cannon of a leg. I think what separates him from most people is his mentality. If there's a ball that's going to get snapped, he feels like he's going to put it through the uprights. So feel great about Derek's ability and his mentality out on the field. And then snapper, we just took a new one. So we got Grant Mills. We call him G Millie. He came from Ohio State. He was at North Carolina before. He's one of the most talented guys I've probably been around snap-wise. Elite velocity, great feet. He's a yes sir, no sir kind of guy. Does all the right things. You coach him to do something, he does it the next rep. And then Ed, we got Ed. So Ed was kind of lurking in the shadows behind Keegan last year, which was great for his development. But he's had a great spring so far. He continues to get better every single day, so we feel great about that.
Obviously, last year, Giovanni and Keegan had a great connection. How have you seen that with Edward and Grant?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's everything. So it was good that we had some time prior to spring ball where those guys were working on the side together, kind of working on the chemistry a little bit, but they're really starting to flow right now. So it's been pretty good.
Coach, obviously, drilling field goals and kicking efficient punts in practice is important, but it's obviously a different feeling and a whole different level of pressure on Saturday. Is there any way that you guys are able to simulate that kind of game pressure, and if so, how do you do that?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's various ways that you could do it. You can get the team in, get them rowdy and whatnot. We do some things in the off season where we put some pressure on the kickers and the punters. We'll squirt water on them. We'll make it very loud. We'll bring some other people. We'll have a horn out there for them. But I think any kick is just another kick for those guys. So, mentality-wise for them, it's, hey, I'm just going out there, I'm doing my job, and that's pretty much it.
Coach, could you tell us about the core four?
Yeah.
What that means to you and the program?
Yeah, absolutely. So we spent some time in the offseason, wanted some guys to take some ownership over special teams. So we developed 4 roles that have to get earned throughout spring ball, and it's going to carry over throughout the season as well. So the first one's the commander, right? The commander is the guy who controls pretty much the temperature. He makes the calls, he makes the checks, right? Typically, that's probably your shield guy on punt. Could be your holder if he's changing the formation on field goal. Could be the guy on punt return who makes all the calls and get everyone lined up. The next one is the standard, which is obviously a guy who sets the floor for the standard at practice. Right? Practice is hard, right? Goes 100 miles per hour all the time, doesn't let up. The next one's the technician, right? So it's a guy where we obviously do a lot of drills in spring ball. Translate what he does in the drills to the actual live rep. And then the last one I think is my favorite one is the believer, which he's kind of the glue guy, right? He sells your mission, right? He's always doing the right things. He might be limited at times, right? It could be a young guy, it could be, a guy who probably is lower on the depth chart, or it could be a guy who's higher on the depth chart. It's just believing in what we're selling and kind of spreading that to the team. But what's most important, and I presented it today, was we show their reps and why those guys earned that, right? So it has to be earned, right? And for those guys now, it got presented today from last week's, they got to keep it, and everyone's got to try to take it. So you earn it, don't get comfortable, continue to earn it each week. It's a weekly thing. Yeah, there's a token system behind it. We give the kids some stuff. And then in season, we have some plans as well for that. It might be a weekly captain or something along those lines. Might get a separate sticker on their helmet.
How important is it to have some of the best players on the team wanting to play special teams in the long run for maybe if they want to be in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, we sell that to our guys all the time. I put up graphics in my meetings about how much guys make, how long they've been in the league, how many offensive snaps they had or defensive snaps they've had compared to special teams. You're either found or made on special teams. There's a lot of guys out there that you look at the longevity of them being in the NFL, it's because they play high-quality special teams reps. And obviously the MAC is the MAC. I don't know how many guys get drafted from the MAC each year, but if you put on great special teams reps, the scouts come in all the time and ask me, hey, how's this guy for you on special teams? Or ask our general manager, what does he do on special teams? I think it's extremely important.
Talk about the guys that you got back there returning, like in terms of punt returns, kick returns.
Yeah, we're trying out a bunch of guys. It's the spring's the spring. Obviously, Ty is a classic guy that's back there. We wish we had him longer last year. Ty's doing it. Drew Alsop's doing it. We got a number of guys back there just trying them out right now. So it's kind of hard to do punt, and some guys are on punt and some guys are returning. So we work it throughout practice.
Someone like Drew, how does someone like that go about earning your trust, or is that part of like the evaluation?
Yeah, I mean, Drew Alsop's a special kid. So if you ever get to speak to him, he's different. He reminds me of some of the Ivy guys I've coached in the past. He's funny. He shows up at like 4:30 in the morning some days, or 4:45, gets his body right for practice, goes out there. He proves he's done the right things. He got graded very high on offensive, the play it period on Saturday, which I take all of that into account. And he comes in and meets with me every single day. He watches every single one of his reps. He wants the coaching, and he always continues to get better.
Is that something you knew or had an idea of coming in? I mean, just someone coming in that quickly and earning that kind of
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched his tape. I think he had the tools. And then getting to know him one-on-one, I mean, the kid's just hungry. I could trust his work ethic, so it gives me faith in his ability.
What was your assessment of last season's punt coverage and kickoff coverage?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there was a lot of firsts for me last year. Last year for us, we obviously had a very good punter. We probably out-punted our coverage a couple of times, and we didn't kick as many touchbacks as we'd like. But it was Rolodexed, so we had to play a bunch of different guys at different positions. We obviously play a top team like Iowa in the country, who has a 2-time Jet Award winner, which puts a lot of stress on you. He's pretty dang good. But we finished first in the MAC in net punt. So if against MAC opponents, we were first. So if you're thinking like-minded, like in conference, we're up there with the best. So I feel good about it.
Coach, we saw a rep of punt today where group came in really quick, very fast breakout, snap it immediately. Is that like a situational kind of play, or is that something that you want to catch the returners off guard?
Yeah. So there's a lot of tempos people carry on punt. We treat punt just like offense. So if they go no huddle, if they go tempo on offense, we do all the same things. So get a line quick. If we get a team who's rushing a lot or they're moving the count, whatever it is, we want to throw them off guard. We get set up fast and punt the ball, get it off.